a business leader, consultant, and strategist who has made transformation not just a buzzword but a measurable reality. Mr. Bhoopal PG.
I've been working across multiple industries, like from fertilizer industry to food industry to cable to steel industries, and I have a diverse domain expertise in the areas of HR, legal, finance, corporate affairs.
At Cognizant, you grew the ServiceNow and ITSM consulting practice by more than 80% year on year. Now, that's not just growth, that's scale that redefines industry standards.
I was doing a digital transformation for one of the organizations where they had multi-vendor environment, and each vendor were doing digital transformation.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to FaceTime with Leaders, powered by Directors Institute World Council of Directors. Today's episode is special because we're not just talking about IT or governance, but about how vision, transformation, and resilience can change the way organizations operate at a global scale. Our guest is someone who has lived that transformation journey. With more than 3 decades of experience across IT and non-IT industries, spanning continents and sectors, he has built and scaled practices that have redefined how enterprises approach IT service management, ServiceNow consulting, SIAM, IT asset management, governance, and digital transformation. Currently serving as director and practice lead at Cognizant, he has led groundbreaking initiatives, growing practices by over 80% year on year, building AI-driven solutions that reduced ITSM costs by nearly half, launching next-gen SIAM platforms, and shaping Cognizant's place as an industry leader. Beyond this, he has authored thought leadership papers, reviewed ITIL practices guides for Axelos, and spoken on global stages about the future of service delivery and governance. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Bhoopal PG, a business leader, consultant, and strategist who has made transformation not just a buzzword but a measurable reality. Sir, it's truly an honor to have you with us today.
It's a pleasure and privilege that I'm part of your FaceTime interview with Tani.
Privilege is all ours, sir. Sir, you've had such a diverse career from HR and legal to IT consulting and global digital transformation. Could you please walk us through your journey and share how those early roles shaped the leader you are today?
Thanks, Tani. First of all, thanks for recognizing me as a business leader and a prospective board member. Uh, Mine has been from shop floor to boardrooms, from legal to artificial intelligence, a transformation journey working across multiple teams and some incredible teams and leaders all across my journey. Uh, I started. I've been reshaping service ecosystems right from digitizing cable plant operations, uh, rewriting processes for Fortune uh, 2 companies like General Motors, uh, building practices for companies like HP and Cognizant. Uh, Through this journey, I think I've had diverse exposure. I've been working across multiple industries, like from fertilizer industry to food industry to cable to steel industries, and I have a diverse domain expertise in the areas of HR, legal, finance, corporate affairs. I've been into production planning. I've been writing ISO frameworks and implementing ISO frameworks in multiple organizations. But I found my true calling coming in IT, where I've been playing IT service consulting. I've been into IT service delivery and handling multiple digital transformation programs. Uh, my unique blend of exposure in both IT and multi-domain expertise has helped me to work and shape cross-functional teams across the continents. Uh, Having said that, I think the core philosophy that I hold is we need to build the trust into heart of every system we build, and every system we build should be resilient, future ready, and should be efficient. I think that's been my core philosophy. Having said that, it's not that I've not had my lows in my life. Sometime during my early phases of my career, where I've been working in one of the organizations where I thought I was quite settled and I was deeply rooted in the organization. Suddenly I think there was a leadership change and the leadership style change, and I could not cope up with that environment. I had to step away, and those were very unsettling and uncertain times in my life. And while I was thinking what to do next in my life, there came an opportunity from one of the good IT organizations at that point in time. And I thought, okay, since I've been in non-IT, I thought I could take a detour at that point in time. But what I thought as a detour became a highway of my career. And from that time, I've been into IT all along. And I think I'm no looking back. I think I have no regrets that I come into IT. I think I've got a fantastic career in IT. And yeah, I think if each of my phase of my career have been the building blocks into the next, I think that's been something very. I think I'm gifted that way. That, for example, I started doing corporate affairs and finance, and now I'm getting into Directors Institute. I think that itself is a good thing, and I've been handling legal and uh, some complaints related stuff in ISO and all those stuff, and now that helped me to handle ServiceNow consulting practice where there is governance, risk, and compliance. So that way, each one has been a building block in my career. And I think I'm where I am today. I think I'm looking for the next phase of my life.
And very well said, sir, that detours sometimes can lead you to a new career journey, which can be as enriching as the original path which you thought, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. So your career has been about building practices, shaping frameworks, and scaling transformations that impact not just companies but entire industries. Let's dive into a few defining lessons from that journey. At Cognizant, you grew the ServiceNow and ITSM consulting practice by more than 80% year on year. Now, that's not just growth, that's scale that redefines industry standards. What was the breakthrough decision or philosophy that unlocked that momentum?
See, ServiceNow is not just a tool; it's an ecosystem by itself. So before joining Cognizant, I was in HP where I had led service management practice, and I was also uh, handling the service management too. So I never had I mean, I did not have the need for a, learning curve when I joined Cognizant for ServiceNow practice. So when I joined Cognizant somewhere in 2009, I was also given the responsibility of ServiceNow consulting practice, and that's a good, very good. Uh, Opportunity for me in my career. But alongside came the pressure of project demand because we had a lot number of projects coming into our team. At the same time, we did not have the supply of resources to fulfill those demands. So we were struggling. I think we were really hitting certain roadblocks. We lost some project because of not having the resources. The team I had was basically two agnostic people who could not speak the ServiceNow architecture, ServiceNow language. So there were some serious issues. And that's the time we are not getting supply from the market also. We had to take some hard decisions. And that's the time we took a decision of to train the people from within the organization. And that's a risky decision because it's not easy to move somebody who's not knowing ServiceNow technology and put them into technology project ServiceNow. But we took the decision of building internal structured engine, training engine, and we also built a competency group around ServiceNow architecture and automation rules. And we built a feedback loop between training to delivery and delivery to training. And we treated each project as a lab. I think these are decisions we took at that point in time. And though initially we were little hesitant, but I think each of the projects started showing results. And with a short period of time, we were able to meet all the demands, and we were very successful in the market. So that really paid off. In fact, I can tell you in one of the automation project we were deploying automation, HR automation, and we were able to reduce the the overall employee onboarding time from 14 days to 48 hours, and that was phenomenal in terms of the we say I think almost 60 to 80% of the effort in that case. And the CIO of the company was saying that this is sort of IT automation that they want to see and IT service that they wanted to see. It not only that, it also gave the employee the happiness of being onboarded into an organization. So for us, the scaling is not about selling harder; it's about ensuring repeatability and shaping trust with the customers with whom we work. I think that way we did a good job there. And what we did in those periods was we are trying to build. We are not treating IT as an architect. We are as a plumbing, but we take it as an architecture. We started building relevance with our customers, and we reimagined the way services were delivered to the customers. And that helped us to be partners in the customer transformation journey. And we moved from tool first to value first. And that reimagining the service delivery, I think really helped us. I think that 80% growth was not about chasing growth, but was about reimagining our relevance with our customers, and that really paid off. And that's why we sustained.
Yeah, very well said. Value creation for the customer. Once you realize that and work towards that, everything else, I guess, falls into place. So you've led automation and AI-driven initiatives that cut ITSM costs by nearly half. Most people look at AI for speed, but you used it for savings and value creation. How do you see AI reshaping service management not just in efficiency, but in smarter decision making for businesses?
I think today the AI is about flashy chatbots, etc. But I think for us, AI is not about speed, but it's about making smarter decisions and getting better insights about an environment. I think that's been our philosophy around artificial intelligence. Having said that, I think today people are using it for cost cutting and other purposes. As I think we do use that for cost cutting, but our main focus has been around smarter decisions using artificial intelligence. When we started our AI journey a couple of years back, I think we were struggling because one, we had skill issues. Second, we had data quality issues because for building an artificial intelligence bots and other thing, we need data. One for the building, for training the model, another for testing what we have built. And initially, we had a lot of struggle because what we got as output were misleading and nonsensical information. Basically, they call it hallucination in artificial intelligence. So we improved our logics, we improved, fine-tuned our programs. I think we came to a stage where our bots were really performing. In fact, we deployed them in one of the largest banks where we were able to uh, uh, self self automate the incidents resolution uh, by itself. I think, and we also remove repetitive incidents from the environment, and whereby we save almost 40 to 50% of the cost from the customer environment. And we also made predictive models where we were able to predict failing of servers. Thereby, we are able to reduce the downtime of servers and reduce and we avoided costs for the customer, and we also avoided penalties for us and improved customer experience. Having said that, I think it's not AI is not about cost. We were focusing on smarter decisions, and we were using. And today, our customers are asking in our pre-sale discussions how to use AI for better other than cost purposes. And this is where we were focusing on smarter decisions. We built several bots and dashboards, AI-powered dashboards. One of the dashboards, we were able to uh, pull out information from across service channels, whereby we were able to identify the various bottlenecks, the resource utilization, and performance parameters across the environment. These gave greater insights about the environment. We are also able to auto route the tickets to agents who are the actual type, the appropriate type of resource, the availability, based on availability and the skill of the resource, and based on past performance of the resource. That way, that cuts down the resolution time of tickets, and it also gives better experience to the customers. We also use AI for sentimental analysis, which helps us to understand how our customers are feeling while they're interacting with our agents. That way, it also helps us to retain our customers, take customer retention efforts, and all those stuff. In one of the healthcare projects, we're also trying to understand the customer symptoms and try to do the right export, etc. So today, AI is not about just about cost saving; it's about using it for uh, better risk mitigation, compliance of the various regulatory requirements in the environment. So, I think we are using for things like this, and we are also bringing in a governance model. We are bringing ethics into a boss what we build. I think with all these things, I think we are moving to using AI more effectively. And today, it's not about machine replacing people. It is about how does the mission amplify the ability of people to uh, better provide insights about the environment and use that insights for better decision making. It's all depends on how to use AI.
Yeah, very well said. It's not just about one aspect which AI can cover. It's just a technology which can improve on anything in a company.
Correct.
So frameworks like ITIL, ISO, and COBIT often get dismissed as red tape, but you've shown they're actually enablers of trust and sustainable transformation. How do you make leaders see that governance is not about slowing things down, but about creating growth that lasts?
See, it's like this. See, we don't. First of all, it all depends upon the maturity of the organization. So, organizations that are mature, I think, never feel this ISO frameworks or the COVID, whatever frameworks in the market, they are not roadblocks. But there are organizations which are lower in the maturity curve, or newer organization, they have this problem. Yeah, I did face these type of situations in my consulting experience. uh, See, it's like this: you drive a car on a hill. Okay, you put your seat belts, you put your guardrails, and have a dashboard, etc. These are not your brakes. They help you to these seat belts, etc. They give you confidence to move forward and drive, accelerate better in an environment where you're going to drive in a hill. So i- let me give an example. Okay, so I was doing a digital transformation for one of the organizations where they had multi-vendor environment, and each vendor were doing digital transformation. And I was a consultant in that environment, but the organization is quite new, and they were not willing to. They felt that these frameworks are going to be a red tape. They are going to be draining their effort. They are going to be sucked into this type of stuff. And they said, please keep all these things away because we have a very tight deadline. We need to move forward, and they have to accelerate things. So I had to keep quiet for some time. So they all went about doing the work, and till they came to a stage that they were hitting a roadblock in terms of, because each vendor was pulling in their own directions. Each one had their own SLAs, they had their own set of process, and they could not move as one team. And that's the time they all got into the war room. They're trying to understand, figure out what's really going wrong. And that's when they decided that they want to have a common set of process, common set of SLAs. And they called me, can you do something here? And this is something I was saying from day one. But having realized that they are not moving forward, they understood they have to evolve, and all of them came to a common ground, and it's a realization. And most of the organization at a lower maturity curve, they go through this process of evolution. And I think we as consultants give them the space to evolve, and once they evolve, they never look back. And in this particular case, where you say they had, once they put the process in place, they had 99% SLA achievement, their change success rates improved, their MIMS came down. So they were so happy. In fact, one of the person who was resisting came and told me, guys, really, we are really doing well. And I think it's all because of the process we have put in place. So it happens. So when we see governance is like, it's like playing a street football, and playing football in a World Cup. Like in a World Cup, you need referees, you need dashboards, everything. So all these things come into play. Same way, I think we have to allow the organization to come to that maturity curve, and that's how it happens. And once we go to an environment, we don't start telling them start using ITIL. We don't tell them start using COVID. We try to understand the maturity organization. We do a slow injection of the processes in a way that they can absorb whatever we are saying. We can't go and tell a level 5 process into an organization which is bit low on the maturity. So it's a slow process. We can make them evolve, and that's how it happens. But once they understand I mean, it's helping them. They never look back. They start doing things. So governance is all about uh, how do you look. You have to look at beyond the next quarter. Okay, you need to look outlast. You have to look at process which is outlast, and you are able to grow beyond the next quarter. I think if they have that philosophy and they build this process as part of the DNA of the organization, I think it really helps them. I think with
Yeah.
governance, I think they will have durable growth, and without governance, their growth becomes very fragile. I think most organizations understand this as they evolve.
Yeah, very true. It needs to be in the internal, it needs to be internalized in the companies working
Correct.
and every employee, and then it starts to showing bigger results, right? Okay, sir, now time for a very own rapid fire round. A few quick questions and quick answers with no overthinking. So, are you ready?
Yeah, sure, sir.
Early bird or night owl?
Night owl,
One snack you can never say no to.
biryani,
The song that instantly puts you in a good mood.
Billie Jean,
If you could travel to one country for the rest of your life, which would it be?
Australia,
What's your guilty pleasure TV show or movie?
Home Alone,
Who would play you in a movie about your life?
Rajnikant.
Lovely. One app you secretly spend too much time on.
I spent two apps. One is investing.com and YouTube.
Mountains or beaches?
Both.
If you had a superpower for just one day, what would you pick?
Remove selfishness from the world.
Beautiful. What's one thing your friends always tease you about?
My food habits.
Lovely. Great, sir. I think that was one of the fastest and Best rapid fire we've round, so thank you for that. Now, coming back to the slightly more serious questions.
Yeah.
So, globally, we've seen cases like Enron, Wirecard, and Theranos where data reporting and governance failures misled not just investors but the public at large. In today's digital first world, do you think technology makes governance easier, or does it simply create new blind spots that leaders need to watch out for?
It's a very relevant question in this digital world. Technology does not eliminate blind spots; it only shifts them, according to me. Uh, See, these digital systems provide unprecedented visibility. They give real-time alerts. They provide audit trails and much more tools for governance. But it's all based on the data what you produce. So if the data is biased, they the outcome what you get could be suiting somebody's convenience. So it is important for the leaders to ask questions: is the data what you see has been validated by somebody? Is it serving the truth of convenience of somebody? And who's controlling the narrative? I think these are very important questions. And today's world, it's important to have data ethics. We need to have uh, measurable outcomes, and the data ethics is very important that we need to have human oversight. And today, technology is a powerful enabler, but the governance becomes a human responsibility. See, the companies like Enron and Wirecard, I don't see them as financial scandals per se. They are not technology failures. Also, to me, they are basically uh, issues of integrity and human oversight. And here, in each of these cases, the data has been either weaponized or misused. And instead of informing the people, they have misled the people. So this has been the case with all this thing. So today, if you ask me, uh, we need to have the best governance, and the best governance does not come from technology. It comes from uh, readers asking hard questions, whether the data what they see is making is stitching the story correctly, and whether something is missing in the data. All those things have to be asked. I think the leaders have to ask hard questions. They need to be skeptical about the data, what they see, and ask hard questions, challenge the assumptions, and they have to design for model transparency. And the system should focus on earning trust and not just focus only on compliance. You look at our aviation sector. I think aviation sector, the the governance so well baked into the cockpit, into the control tower, etc., that today people are able to fly with confidence. That is trust. Similarly, in terms of pharma industry, you look at the regulatory compliance is so stringent, and the trust is baked into the DNA of those organizations that the medicine what we consume are giving the trust we can take them safely. So, so governance is not optional. I think it is a growth insurance. It is a growth enabler. So governance is the difference between hype and sustained growth. I always say it's important that people connect the dots. The dots being people, process, and technology, and we should not delegate the governance to a dashboard or a checklist. It is important that DNA that governance is stitched as part DNA as part of the DNA of the organization. I think if that happens, I think these type of say Enron type of scenarios will not happen.
Yeah, very true. And governance and ethics existed before technology did, right? So it's
Correct.
something that's internal
Correct.
and should be
Techniques
there.
only enable.
Yeah. So, after decades of shaping ITSM, CAM, and digital transformation practices, you chose to join Directors Institute. We would love to know what inspired you to take that step and how has the experience sharpened the way you think about governance and future ready leadership?
Okay. Maybe a year back, I happened to meet one great leader in one of the airports. I bumped upon, we met each other during the waiting time in the airport. And while we were interacting, I don't want to reveal the person name because I don't have his consent. So while I was interacting with him, I understood he's a board member of several organizations, and we were sitting there almost 1 hour in the airport wrong. So that really transpired my life. The way he was talking about the boardroom discussion, the way the boardrooms are shaping and evolving in the current situation. So and he also he also understood my profile, what I'm doing in my life. So my experience has been I've been into IT, non-IT, I've been into legal, I've been into corporate affairs, I've been into production, I've been into HR, legal. So many domains, so many industries I've been. So he felt that I'm somebody who can really get into, especially a role of independent director, because the expertise of independent director is very, very important for especially promoter-led organizations. So he felt you can, I can play a bigger role in those type of organizations as an independent director, and that's where it's how started. And I came across Directors Institute, so I thought I uh, try my next phase of my life with this thing. And I also want to look beyond ITSM and ESM and other stuff. I thought it's time. I've been there almost for the last 15 years, and now I thought it's time I move to the next phase of my career, and I want to meet new people, and I want to unlearn what I've learned till now and learn new things from leaders uh, who are already established in the industry in terms of being directors, boardroom people, etc. I think that will give a new perspective about how I look at corporates, how I shape my next phase of my career, and I think this is the core inspiration for me to join Directors Institute.
Lovely. So thank you so much for those kind words and for joining us today. Because what stood out is that this conversation is about how your journey shows that transformation isn't just about technology, right? It's about people, governance, and the courage to build frameworks that last. From your early roles in HR and legal to pioneering ITSM and CM practices at HP, to scaling ServiceNow and digital transformation at Cognizant, you've shown us that real leadership is about vision, trust, and continuous reinvention. So thank you so much for that, sir.
Nice talking to you, Tanay.
Likewise, sir. To our listeners, I hope this episode sparks reflection for you, whether you're building a team, leading a startup, or steering a large enterprise, because the lessons Mr. Bhupal shared about governance, adaptability, and the human side of transformation go far, far beyond the IT world. So, before we wrap up, we love for you to leave our audience with one principle they should carry with them and something that has guided your leadership across industries and decades.
Governance is about connecting the dots. If you're able to connect the dots between people, process, and technology, I think governance is easily done. I think that's where many organizations struggle.
Sorry. Thank you everyone for joining in today. This has been FaceTime with Leaders powered by Directors Institute, World Council of Directors. If today's conversation inspired you, share it with a colleague, a friend, or even someone who's just starting out because leadership is more about just passing the torch forward. So until next time, keep learning, keep leading with purpose, and of course, have fun in your journey. Thank you so much.